Welcome to Jeep Beach News and Views, a podcast about everything Jeep Beach in Daytona Beach, Florida. Here are your hosts, Charlene and Kurt from JBR.
Hey, y'all, and welcome back to Jeep Beach News and Views. I don't hear me at all, Rob.
You don't? Well, you know why? Because I don't have you turned.
You know why we don't hear each other? Now we hear each other because now Rob turned up our headphones.
No. Why?
Why would we do that?
Come on.
We hear ourselves fine and dandy.
Ready? And 3, 2. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. There, we just started over, but we can hear ourselves now. You guys, Charlene and Kurt, are such amateurs.
Well, we are, but Charlene.
36 days.
36 days. And
Rob, 36 days.
36 days.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a snowball rolling down, you know where.
That's all it's going to do. It's running downhill now, right? And then the show just runs itself from here, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep,
it just runs itself.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the meeting after meeting after meetings that I'm in right now, right? So, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today.
It is, because did you kind of feel we were in the principal's office this morning when we first walked in?
No.
Really?
You sure?
In here?
No.
We'll get into that.
This is what we're getting ready to talk about.
All right,
okay.
We had lots going on before we jump into that. Let's talk Bike Week. Did you get out for any of the festivities?
No, not this year.
No. We went out a night and a half.
Okay.
An early night and a half.
That's right.
We
you guys
did Monday night.
Hairball, right?
Yep. And we love the Monday night. I'm going to start naming that locals night during Bike Week because
there was a lot of locals there.
I'm going to say Monday night at Hairball up at the Broken Spoke, which are great partners of us. They do a lot of fundraising for St. Jude's with their poker tournament, poker run thing, and we help with that, yada yada. Great partners, and just what a beautiful venue. We tried Jeep Beach Nation to do a Jeep Beach event up there, but the parking is just a wee bit difficult.
Yes, it is. The Jeep's just a little bit bigger than a motorcycle.
Yes, it's easy to park a bunch of motorcycles on 2 wheels up there. To get 4 wheels in there, you can get maybe 150.
No.
Not even that. It's just a hard venue for us.
What about that one big lot that's just before the Broken Spoke?
Well,
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and they've started upgrading that too.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot. Parking is the
issue
obstacle up there, and unless we go on scaffolding and park on scaffolding,
I think you park on scaffolding, but can't do that.
Well, here's the deal. Have you seen the new condos they're building right there
on Beach Street?
On Beach Street.
Yeah, those are condos. That's
those
right.
Are condos.
Okay.
And a parking garage.
We
just watched.
The parking garage is almost complete.
That was crazy.
So, Rob, you may be onto something. Maybe we'll just have him build us a scaffolding parking garage, and we'll put it
a mobile scaffolding,
mobile parking garage.
So everywhere we go during Jeep Beach time, we just take that scaffolding mobile parking garage with us.
Wherever we go. Where you think?
If that was possible,
we'd make a gazillion dollars. Yeah, we'd make a gazillion dollars. Anyway, y'all, but it was a lot of fun for the most part. A safe, not as many fatalities this year, which is fantastic. There were still accidents and things of that nature, but we did pretty good and averted a lot of
the weather was good.
Catastrophes, if you will,
yes,
right?
Weather was
beautiful.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious, it was
nights
gorgeous.
Were just a little cool, which made it nice, so it wasn't, sweltering hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
A
good week.
We did.
Just a good
saw
week.
Some interesting people.
You always do. Oh, man.
So much fun, though.
A lot of riders, right?
Yes, a lot of riders.
A lot of riders.
But also a lot of bikers. And the bikers, as we've mentioned, let you know that they still would like to be referred to as bikers. So I guess we're developing a biker community and a rider community. So we'll leave it at that. And I'm not crossing over into that lane. I'll just remain here as Sparkles.
We're just cheapers.
Because, that's my Bikers Against Child Abuse nickname. That's my biker name that the
what
Bikers Against Child Abuse organization gave me. Hence all the Sparkles with Charlene.
She sparkles, all right.
Right? So, hey, if they're going to give me a nickname and my biker name is going to be Sparkles, then I'm going to embrace it.
Well, Charlene, the only reason you got that name is because you had already embraced it.
Oh.
So, yeah, they didn't have to think hard
to
make.
That is not true. You know what they said? I was like, I thought I was going to get like a snake or spider or something really skull. And you know what they told me? They were like, but you sparkle and shine for all the charities that you serve, so your nickname Sparkles. And when they told me that, I was like, you know what? I will continue to sparkle and shine for our charities.
Okay, you sparkle all the time.
But anyway,
She's
that's
got
what we
diamonds
do
on the
after
soles of
all,
her feet.
right?
So you'd have bedazzled saddlebags, right?
Yeah, if I had a motorcycle, yes, I would absolutely have bedazzled.
And here's the
sparkly.
deal: if she had a motorcycle,
That's right.
because I would not have bedazzled saddlebags on my motorcycle.
Oh, he would drive.
Kurt, you'd love it. Come on.
Mr. Charlene would drive it with pride.
You would.
I'd have to. I'd have to.
All right. Anyway, moving on. So just wanted to give Daytona Beach and everybody involved, all of our partners that held bike events, very good success this year. And congratulations for a safer than past year's bike week. So
Yes.
there you go. And with that said, guess what happened? Everything in this town just shifted to Jeep Beach, you guys. On Monday morning of this week, my phone started blowing up at 7 a.m. Da-ding, 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 da-ding. Everybody, Jeep Beach. When can we talk Jeep Beach? When can we talk Jeep Beach? Yes.
Real quick, back up just a little bit. How was the motorcycle the race that night? It was
American Flat Track.
American Flat Track.
Yep.
That's it.
It was fantastic night. We ended up with 28, 38. I can't remember if it was 28
yeah,
or 38.
I think it was high 20s.
It was 20, maybe 28 Jeeps that ended up. Oh, Rudy said somebody's here.
That scared him.
Did everybody
Scared me.
hear Rudes?
That's Hefe walking in
Oh,
now.
it's Happy Hefe.
Yeah.
Happy Hefe is coming in, and Rudy, the JBR Tiki Bar dog, let us
He's
know.
the guard dog. He said,
That's the first time I've heard him bark in a long time.
Stranger danger.
Unless there's food, he
Well.
doesn't usually make a noise.
it was Happy Hefe. That could be a little
Stranger
strange.
danger.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway, and of course, we're talking about Jeff Freed, aka Happy Hefe of the Jeep Beach Off-Road Toolbox. But
Well, the cool thing about it, now Rudy's waiting for him.
he
realized
realized it was Happy Hefe.
I think he
He's
saw him
not
through the window with
stranger
his
danger.
bad eye and really wasn't sure who he was. And now his good eye saw him and go, oh, okay, he's good.
So Rudy, the Jeep Beach, the JBR Tiki Bar
yeah.
mascot.
He's vicious.
I love him to
Vicious.
pieces.
Probably
Anyway,
the baddest hot dog around.
right? But back to American Flat Track. Incredible night. Not all the Jeeps made it into the parking area because parking there close to race time got a little hairy out there.
I bet it did.
You know, so some of them ended up having to park in General Pop, but they
And the
still
weather was
got-
good, too. So you got the weather was really
perfect.
good.
Yep. And they still honored the discounted ticket and whatnot. It was just a little more difficult to get them parked in the Jeep area
Yeah.
at that time.
Again, bikers, they can park it's easy to
Anywhere,
park.
yeah.
Jeeps, a little bit
A
different.
little bit different. We have a bigger turn radius. We'll leave it at that. Our
Just a
footprint
little
is a
bit.
little bit bigger.
Yep.
But overall, a great event, and just a huge shout out and kudos to American Flat Track for a great opening weekend. So wishing them a lot of good wellness and
Success throughout the year.
throughout their season as they're now out on the road kicking things off. But with that said, now everybody really is turning all eyes and attention towards Jeep Beach. And one of those reach outs this week was with our amazing Daytona Beach Police Department and all of our friends over there. And we went over today. We actually just left there not long ago and had great conversations. Chief Young is super excited to welcome all you guys in, the entire staff, everybody from whether it's motors, cars, special events, bicycles, whatever are you, because we've also already met with some of our Volusia County Sheriff's Office and deputies, some of our friends there. So really just starting coordinate efforts now for, where are we going to be during Jeep Beach? What are the events? Want to make sure that everybody stays safe, stays in line, because once again, Jeep Beach Nation, you guys are so welcomed in this community. You are the event, and this is tooting your horn, Jeep Beach Nation. that I think the locals really, really get excited about bringing into town. I think, for the most part, everybody's excited about the races and Bike Week but with the Jeep community, you guys are just a different kind of people. You're our people.
That's right.
And we love being our jamily. But there is one section of Daytona Beach that got a little more
attention.
That's a good word. I was trying to come up with a nice word, because this is not a negative podcast today, so I don't want you guys to feel that way. This is an informative podcast.
We were informed.
And we were informed today.
Yes, that
that the Main Street area may or may not have gotten a little cluttered last year.
Congested.
Gridlocked.
Yeah, you couldn't move.
Public safety issues were occurring.
And the great part about that is we brainstormed.
We did. We had great conversations.
So
here's what happened. You want me to give you the nutshell version of what happened?
I got to clarify this whole brainstorming. So it was you and the police department, right?
Yes.
Did you take notes?
Yes. Is the camera on me right now?
No, don't. You be nice. You be nice. Yes, the camera's always on you. Okay. Remember that.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Happy Hefe.
So here's the nutshell version, Jeep Beach Nation, of what went down in the Main Street area corridor, if you will.
Well, you brainstormed. And Kurt took notes.
Yes. And there was about a 3-block radius that this occurred. Jeep Beach no longer sanctions an event down there, right? We don't pull permits for Main Street once COVID hit. I mean, you guys, for us to do what we used to do, and I'll just be completely transparent, Jeep Beach exists as a fundraising platform, right? That's why we put on Jeep Beach. That's why about 500 volunteers embrace it. They serve our mission. We're here to put on a great event for Jeep Beach Nation and make beautiful Jeep memories with the Jamly. But truly the mission of Jeep Beach is to raise very needed funds for our nonprofits. Well, in order to do that, we know it takes money to make money, right? But that Main Street party, pre-COVID, was bumping $40,000 by the time we had to pay city permits, fire rescue, law enforcement, cleanup, traffic control, you name it. I mean, y'all, it just snowballed.
Kurt's bar tab.
Kurt, Kurt. Yeah. Anyway, but for real, to put that event on got very, very pricey. Well, and there's no return revenue for us. So it was just a big street party that was on the shoulders of Jeep Beach. And we decided, you know what, that's not fair to our charities, our volunteers, or anyone else. So once COVID hit, we just said, you know what, we were without Main Street Party this year, so we just kind of left it alone. However, what we do love is that people still gravitate to Main Street because we have some great partners on Main Street. Amazing bars, establishments, some great little diner dive. What is that TV show? Dives, diners, something. Yeah, whatever that is. And I don't want to say they're dives, but they're just cool little hole in the walls, And so some great partners down there, and several friends that actually own those bars. So we want you guys down there. What we can't have happen again this year is that gridlock. That became the biggest issue, that and the noise ordinances.
It was. And the problem down there is because it's not a permitted event, the roads are not shut down. So when the roads are not shut down, everybody's just parking wherever they can park. Problem with that is if there was an emergency down there, nobody could get in.
Nobody can come to help. And that became the problem.
Yeah.
And they said, again, being mindful that just, you've got Main Street and you've got houses or establishments on this side, establishments on this side. Right on the other side of that is residential housing. So they had to set noise ordinances and other ordinances, no open containers walking down the sidewalks. And there's ordinances on Main Street because you are in a community. You are literally in someone's backyard. And the counter to that is, yes, we know they chose to buy there, live there. They knew where they were moving, right? And I understand that. But it's also part of the city and the community. So with those city ordinances, you guys, they will be in very strict enforcement in that area. Not just in that area, but heavily concentrated in that area. So if you are some of our sound people, we love you guys. We want you here. We created neon nights for you guys on Wednesday night, right? I mean, we have a whole neon night sound off night just to showcase your builds, because some of these builds, again, unbelievable. I cannot believe what you guys put in a Jeep. I'm thinking my Jeep, I want it to be on the beach or in the creek, and then you guys are like, I see my Jeep as a rolling DJ booth. And I love that because that's your lane. Just because it's not my main doesn't make it right? But we're wrong.
But the problem with that is,
here's the issue.
You cannot be a rolling DJ after 10 o'clock.
In the middle of our community. And, they're really working on trying to keep this as family friendly as possible. Not they, we all are.
We
working.
are, but the police department, the last thing they really want to do is write you a ticket.
They don't want that. And they don't want to run you off, and they don't want to tow your vehicle, and they don't want it to go into impoundment. And they too appreciate the builds.
They do. And it cuts down on their manpower and the cost of the county if they're not having to do that.
Right.
So if we can help in any way,
we're going to. So that's why we're having this podcast today.
That's right.
Kurt's going to be out there directing traffic.
Well,
No.
I can.
If he had to, he would. I've done it before. I've been down there on Main Street before playing police ordinance person, right? And law enforcement or ordinance enforcement, but which is law. And those city ordinances are laws, and they're passed for keeping the community safe and keeping the community viable, right? So what I would say to Jeep Beach Nation, if you are in the sound industry world and that's your lane, we love you guys and we want you here, and we want to see your builds. We want to see them builds or builds. And how you took sound to a whole nother level in the Jeep world. But we need you to do it according to the proper processes. Sign up for that sound off, right? And if you don't sign up and you don't want to necessarily enter the sound night, come on out and be a part of the night and walk around and see it. Super fun. It's Wednesday, April 23rd from 5 to 9 in front of the Daytona International Speedway on Midway, where it's been the last several years. It's been revamped. There's no more IASCA sanctioned judging or any of that. This is truly a exhibition style sound off, if you will. We'll have trophies for categories, and huge shout out to Matt and Kylie Kavanaugh and their team for restructuring that. And they have put so much time and effort and work into it. I know that they've been reaching out to a lot of our sound vendor partners. One of them who I also spoke to today, and Rob and his team over at DS18, they're going to start collaborating with me to help get this messaging out, because y'all, we don't want anybody's brand tarnished. And it's not always, the biggest isn't always the problem, right? The biggest got big because they did things right.
Right.
And I think I can speak on behalf of Rob and DS18. We have started working with them, communicating with them. When it first became an issue a couple years back on Main Street, we started working together directly. And I said, I need your help. Help me understand the sound industry. I don't know the sound world, and I'm not going to pretend like I do, but how can we embrace that? And that's where the sound competition came into play. And it's been really, really successful. And I think this year is going to be even more successful because of the changes that have been made to that. But it's when you leave the Jeep Beach events that we need you guys to be mindful of community. And again, Jeep Beach Nation, this is where we live, work, and play. We're not promoters coming in from out of town, making our money, and then leaving Daytona. We live here, we work here, we play here. Our grandbabies are on the highways with our children here. Anyway, this is where we live, work, and play. And we need you guys to come into town and please be respectful of it. You know, something cool that Rob told me about last year on Main Street? He knew exactly what I was talking about. Again, I was not aware of some of the situations and issues that happened down there last year because it wasn't a Jeep Beach event, right? And so as we were just talking today about this year's schedule with the Daytona PD, the Main Street came up. And so when I did reach out to Rob this afternoon and started telling him what he was like, oh, Charlene, it was bad. And he said that, and he said, but what happened was some organic gatherings started rising up. People were stopping in the middle of the main street, which was not a closed street, and they were just dancing in the road. And so now all of a sudden you've got cars trying to get on or off of Main Street, and the gridlock just happened, and PD just ended up having to start writing citations, and they shut the road down completely to get everyone off of Main Street. Well, guess who that hurt? Our business partners, right? So your actions cause a reaction and a ripple effect to everyone involved. And so we don't want that to happen again this year. So what we're asking everybody to do, we're going to start posting the city ordinance. So you're very, very familiar with it. We'll keep telling you guys over and over again, even if you don't want to register for the sound off, it's still a night where you can come out and see all the sound guys and Jeep builds. And you don't even have to pay. Now, you have to pay if you're in the sound off, but if you're not in the sound off, that event is open to everyone. You can come in, you can park, you can be there, you can be a part of it, and you can gather with us there and really appreciate some of these unbelievable builds. The next thing you can do is when you leave our events, be mindful of the laws of the land, right?
Yes.
And play your music, but don't blast and blare your music. There's a time and a place for that. And driving through our neighborhoods and our community, that's not the time or place for it.
Well, the ordinance now, if they can hear it within 25 feet, they're going to write you a ticket. And we did find out today that they can write you multiple tickets at one time. So if you get caught
for the same offense,
and
multiple times,
10 minutes later they ride by and you doing it again, they can
write you another ticket. And then at some point in time, I don't know when or all the legalities to it, so I'm not going to get into the legal issues, but what we're trying to prevent is those beautiful builds. Well, we're trying to prevent a ticket, but we're also trying to prevent your beautiful builds from going to impoundment. Right? Because you just can't play by the rules. So play by the rules is what we're asking. Be mindful of everything. This is the time of year where we start having some of these not so fun podcasts, right? But they're informative because we want to make sure that you guys understand we stand behind our law enforcement and we stand behind the laws of the land, right? I mean, this is our hometown, and so we abide by the rules, and we're asking you, Jeep Beach Nation, when you come into town, to please also abide by those rules. And remember that you are well received, and we want it to continue to be that way. We don't want Jeep Beach and Jeep Beach Nation to get a bad rap because we can't turn our music down.
That's right.
Right?
And what you don't realize, when you get out of your car and you're dancing on a live road, that becomes reckless.
Oh, gosh.
And there's a hefty fine with that. And if you resist arrest or anything like that, then you're going to jail.
Right.
So
and that's just nobody wants that.
In that position.
And not only that, if you start really pushing it, they'll look at your rig and say, what is according to law and what isn't? And there's a lot of little things they let go.
Yes, there is.
You know, like bumpers, for example. I was talking to Hefe about that. I didn't even know this, but your bumper is front bumper is supposed to cover the full tire.
Right.
If you have the stubby bumper, that right there is going to get you a ticket.
Right.
If they want
to do
it.
Exactly. So
just be cool.
Just be cool.
That's all.
Don't be a showboater. There's a time and a place. We set up a time and a place for you to showboat, right? And I just want to give a huge shout out to Rob and his team at DS18 because they are going to collaborate with us on getting this messaging out to everyone. He and I are working on some creative ideas. Chief Young, who is our chief of police at Daytona PD, he and I are already collaborating and working with his team to come up with making sure that you guys are well aware before you come into town that we are going to strictly enforce especially the sound and the stopping in the streets on Main Street. That cannot happen again. All I could think when I was looking at the videos, because I never even saw videos, but they have traffic cams in certain places and locations, safety cams that they have on Main Street. We have Bike Week down there. We have Mustangs down there. We have turkey rod run cars, old show cars down there. We're not the only ones. And we're not the only gatherings down there. But we are some of the only ones with the noise. The noise was a big issue, and just the gridlock situation was the issue. And so when we saw that footage, all I could think is, what if I was down there with my family, right? Because we are a family-friendly event, if you will. And I'm not talking about children at this time. I'm talking about, what if I was down there with my elderly parents, and one of my parents or somebody... Heck, it could be anybody in this day and age. We've got a good friend right now, our age, and open heart surgery right now as we speak, literally. And what if somebody down there did have a heart attack or a medical emergency of some sort? There would have been no way. I mean, when I saw the videos, I was like, dear God, y'all, I had no idea it was that gridlocked. There would have been no way to get medical attention to someone had there been a medical emergency or, a fire somewhere, God forbid a fire in one of those establishments or just anything. Think about the scenario of the world in this day and age, right? We've got to keep it safe because we want you to keep coming back, and we want to all be able to gather and make memories together year over year. And it's just a matter of public safety and playing by the rules, right? Let's all play in the sandbox together, right? And get along. We don't have to agree with each other, but we do need to play in the same sandbox when we're at
just keep it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
turn
a little
it down.
bit.
And stay tuned. Like I said, we're going to be posting more. We'll be sharing all of that in the upcoming days. So just pay attention and be informed, right? Information is key. And so that's what we're doing, is giving you all the information that we have so that you know what you're walking into. And they're not trying to run you out of town. They're wanting to welcome you, but they're wanting to welcome you safely.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
See you
now
next
let's
week.
go have a party. And if you haven't signed up your sound rig, go sign up. Jeep Beach Neon Nights on Wednesday night for the sound off. Love it. And we'll see you guys there. Bye, y'all.
That's a wrap on Jeep Beach News and Views. Be sure to subscribe for future automatic downloads to your favorite podcast player app. Got a comment? Or would you like to be featured on Jeep Beach News and Views? Email us at radio@jeepbeach.com. That's radio@jeepbeach.com. Until next time, keep all four on the ground and your tops down.